Alright, Shalom Akim, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, the Most High and His Son. Um, Double honors to our elders, the apostles of Great Millstone. This is the brother Gadawan. I'm going to do a quick video here on this report, X22 financial report, and he's discussing in it about, as you can see, central bankers tested bailouts, bail-ins, banning cash, next gold compensation. Okay, so if you know anything about history, during World War II, there was a gold confiscation. All right, this was after the Great Depression. So pretty much he was saying in his report that the Depression's coming. All right, that we're going to be in another depression, and there's going to be a wartime economy. So this devil, Donald Trump, if he gets up in there, because you don't know if he's going to get up in there, they're going to kill him, or Obama's going to do executive orders and call martial law. We don't know what's going to happen, but hey, if he gets up in there, regardless, there's going to be a wartime economy, Great Depression, and they're going to ban cash, right? And I'll play this little clip because he discusses what they're going to do in India and how these people in India operate.
Because we know the currency, well, that isn't the wealth of the people. They want gold. They want assets. If you really think about it, this is what the central bankers do. They put a country into debt, they give them worthless paper, and then once the country is so far into debt, there's nothing else they can do. The creditors, the bankers, all of them, they swoop in, and they purchase their assets for pennies on the dollar. And of course, what do? They use worthless paper to purchase these hard assets. Well, this is what they're going to do to the people. And in India, well, they are beginning to confiscate gold. And what they're doing is the government is allowing the tax officials to go into people's homes, to go through their things, looking for gold. It could be gold jewelry. It could be bars. It doesn't really matter. And the government clarified, among other things, the rules governing when tax officials could seize gold. So nothing would happen if the holding is limited to 500 grams per married woman, 250 grams per unmarried woman, and 100 grams per male. It also said there would be no limits on jewelry provided it is acquired from inheritance. Also, the officer conducting the search has discretion to not seize even higher quantity of gold jewelry. What this means, unfortunately, is that India's income tax officers, they've just won the lottery. During a raid, they can on the spot decide whether or not to confiscate families' gold holdings. And remember, the people of India, they hold a lot of gold. Approximately about 20,000 metric tons of inherited gold. So they want to see how the people react. They want to see what the people are going to do.
Right. So you brothers can check it out. The video came out yesterday, and I'm gonna go over some scriptures. But as you can see, these East Indians, who in the scriptures are known as Elam, the Elamites, they're heavy into gold, especially the ones that come here to this country. They got lots of gold jewelry, and you know what? They actually save their money and they buy gold. Okay, and a lot of them have inherited gold, as this guy saying in his report. All right, and that everything is a test. So the central bankers, who we know as the ESAU, all right, the Rothschilds, these devils that rule, the same devils that put in Obama, the same devils that are putting in Trump, all right, the same devils that are controlling everything. Okay, the elites, the Rothschilds. Okay, what they're doing right now is testing everything. So they ran it, and now they're going to run it again. And now they're going to ban cash. To do what? to push this Rfid microchip, right? And here it is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. Okay, so when they ban cash, what are they going to move currency to? They're going to move it to the chip, the Rfid microchip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, because obviously here it's talking about buying or selling. So you can't buy, you can't sell unless you have this mark inside of you, which is the Rfid microchip, because they're going to ban the cash. Okay, and they're doing all these test runs, right? And India, as we know, is a global powerhouse, so to speak, state, geopolitical, the second most populous nation in the world, billions of people, okay, and they got nuclear weapons. They got lots of gold, and what is their government doing? They're going in and stealing the people's gold, okay? Why? Because they're in debt, just like America's in debt. All these nations are in debt to these elites, okay? And they're doing this to shut down economies, to blame. Like if you watch this guy's report, oh yeah, I'll go into this article as well. If you watch this guy's report, he talks about how they're blaming cash, hard, currency, paper money for this bad economy, which is true, because that's not real money. But what are they going to do? They want to put it all into digitalized currency, okay? They don't want to go back to what the Most High set it up as is gold and silver, okay? I got a quick scripture. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense, right? So money is a defense. Without money, you can't really, you get caught out there. If you don't have any money, let's say you're driving a car, you got to pay for that car. You got to pay for the insurance. You got to pay for the gas. Something happens to you, you got to pay for the new tires. If it loses a tire, you got to get it towed, all right? So if you have no money or driving around, something happens, you're going to just leave your car on the side of the road, man. You're going to do what? You're going to walk. Okay? So money is a defense. You need to have money saved up, right? You can't be over here just spending money on BS. And wisdom is a defense. And we know the wisdom is in the scriptures, but there's lots of wisdom that's a defense, okay? Like if you're a nigga in the world or just some bug out, you have your own wisdom that you use as a defense. So like, oh, I'm not going to say this to this person. I'm not going to step on this guy's toes because something could happen, right? But we know the real wisdom is with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and that's our defense, okay? It says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is, right? The excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it, all right? So the wisdom and knowledge is our real defense, okay? And it's our life. Okay, and I'm going to go back to this article. This is from Before It's News. And it says, cash is no longer king. The phasing out of physical money has begun. All right, December 8th. It says, as physical currency around the world is increasingly phased out, the era where cash is king, which is, a motto that I learned through, studying. Try to clear this shit out. It's a motto that I learned during studying business and talking to people that run businesses. They say cash is king. Don't spend money, all right? Keep your cash. If you're going to spend money, take a loan, build your credit, do this, right? Keep that cash, which is what this society is all built on, this Babylonian economy. It's all based upon credit. None of it's based upon real money, okay? The era where cash is king seems to be coming to an end. Countries like India, like we just learned about, and South Korea have chosen to limit access to physical money by law. So what are they doing? In other words, they're banning. Let me reload this. Bugging out. They're pretty much banning gold, right? There you go. Fucking ads. They're banning gold, all right? And others are beginning to test digital blockchains for their central banks, right? So what does that lead to? That leads to the chip. The war on cash isn't going to be waged overnight, and showdowns will continue in any country where citizens turn to alternatives like precious metals or decentralized cryptocurrencies, right? Although this transition may feel like a natural progression into the digital age, the real motivation to go cashless is downright sinister. Oh, so that's obviously talking about the Rfid microchip, right? The beast, the mark of the beast, which is sinister because the beast is Satan. Excuse me. The unprecedented collusion between governments and central banks that occurred in 2008 led to bailouts, 0% interest rates, and quantitative easing on a scale never before seen in history. Okay? So, they're talking about 2008, which the guy was mentioning earlier, that was just a big test run for these central banks, all right? And it says a currency war has been declared, all right? Ensuring the US dollar, euro, yen, and many other state currencies are linked in a suicide pact. So they're going to crash this dollar, they're going to crash this currency. Okay, printing money and endlessly expanding debt are policies that will erode the underlying value of every dollar in people's wallets, as well as digital funds and their bank accounts. This new war operates in the shadows of the public's ignorance, slowly undermining social and economic stability through inflation and other consequences of central control. As the Federal Reserve leads to the rest of the world's central banks down the rabbit hole, the vortex this creating will affect everyone in the globalized economy, right? Because everyone's going to get this chip, right? This is part of that New World Order. And Peter Schiff, you know, that devil, has written several books on it, right? And he says here, never in the course of history has a country's economy failed because its currency was too strong. The view that a weak currency is desirable is so absurd that it could only have been devised to serve the political agenda of those engineering the descent. And while I don't blame policymakers from spinning self-serving fairy tales, that is their nature, I find extreme fault with those hypnotized members of the media and the financial establishment who have checked their reason at the door. A currency war is different from any other kind of conventional war in that the object is to kill oneself. The nation that succeeds in inflicting the most damage on its own citizens wins the war. Alright? So that's what's happening. And then this goes in even deeper, right? I'll read this and get into some scripts. It says, if you want a glimpse of how this story ends, all you have to do is look at Venezuela, right? Where the government has destroyed the value of the bolivar, and the United States intervention has further exacerbated the problem. Desperation has overcome the country, leading women to go as far as selling their own hair just to get by. While crime and murder rates have spiked to all-time highs, the most dangerous threat to Venezuelans has been extensive government planning. The money they work for and save is so valueless it's weighed instead of counted. The stacks of bills have to be carried around in backpacks, and the scene is reminiscent of hyperinflation in Weimar Germany, experienced in the 20s. Few Western nations have ever experienced a currency crisis before, meaning many are blind to inevitable consequences that come from the unending stimulus we've seen since 2008. All right. So this is a really good article. Brothers should check it out. Like we were saying, like the apostles were saying last street lesson about Venezuela. You know, that's because of the inflation. That's because of the government destroying the currency. All right, and mainly the U.S. government. And the U.S. government's doing it to all these other countries, and they're going to do it to Americans, all right? You Babylonians, you bug outs, all right? And all this is going to lead to World War III, okay? And here's a quick scripture. Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money man answereth all things, all right? So in Venezuela, they ain't got no money, okay? They destroy their currency, and then those people there don't have any gold. They've been living in a socialist state, okay? They already took everyone's gold. Those people are Israelites. They're poor. They're slaves. They got nothing, all right? And like we're saying, these other nations, they're not going to care for this gold in that time when this war kicks off, all right? When this World War III happens, they're not going to care, okay? This is Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it dwell in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. All right, so we know that's not talking about ancient Babylon, because the Arabians, the Arabs, Ishmaelites, they pitch tent right now in Babylon, modern day, and where modern day Iraq is. That's ancient Babylon, okay? And those are Ishmaelites who live in that land, okay? So this is obviously talking about America. And this links up with Revelation, I believe, the 18th chapter. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, of dragons in their pleasant places, and their time is near to come, and their days shall not be prolonged. All right, that's why we don't prolong the days of Babylon. All right, we hasten the day of its destruction. Okay, and as you can see, this hasn't happened yet, because we're gonna go out and teach about this right now here in America. I'm making this video here in California, which is part of Babylon. All right. Okay. One last scripture. This is Ezekiel 7 and 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Most High. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is stomach block of their iniquity. All right? So, a lot of people are like, okay, we gotta buy gold. We gotta get this, silver and gold, which is a defense, like I read earlier. You know, if you have the money right now, right? If you have the money right now, you should do that. You should be putting it into things that will appreciate, not depreciate. You're buying Gucci belts. You're buying, garbage with, your extra dough. You ain't supposed to be doing that. Okay? So, World War III is on its way. The microchip is on its way. The dollar is on its way out. Okay? Cash is no longer king. The phasing out of physical money has begun, all right? And, it's a good report, good article, all right? Just more proof America's going to be destroyed, all right? The mark of the beast is on its way. And with that, I'm going to say shalom, death to America.